in the United States these days?
Well, I'm having several meetings here for the campaign purposes, to meet new people, to make new connections, to try to gain support for me candidacy. Now I'm running for president of Peru. The elections are going to be in April 2016. So it's really important for me to meet new people, and particular people who support the principles I support. Community too. And this is going to be the first time in which a president is going to hold these principles: democracy, civil rights, tolerance, and understand the problem in the Middle East in a broader way. Because when people don't know anything about a problem, they react like randomly. I'm not going to react randomly with the problem of the Middle East, because I am already informed about what's going on there. So I think there is a big opportunity here. It's a big opportunity because nobody is seeing the benefits to link Peru and Latin America to Israel in the future, and also the benefits for Israel. And if you have a country in which most of the countries, doesn't have the information, it's much easier to create a platform for a new agenda. And one of the things that I will do is two things, in a very progressively and calm way. Two options: foreign policy and economic policy. In foreign policy, you need to have first a platform of countries that progressively have more information on what's going on. One is economic policy, because economics drives politics. And then we have a bunch of options that haven't made, pushed. First, a free trade agreement. If you sign a free trade agreement with Israel, you're going to cause two things. First, it's going to be really difficult for Peru in the future to have a political position against Israel, because it's your trade partner. Second, you're going to force your neighbors to sign free trade agreements with Israel, because Latin American countries right now are competing day by day to get commercial preference around the world through free trade agreements. If Peru signs a free trade agreement with Israel, I'm going to push Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, maybe Bolivia, to have free trade agreements with Israel. The second one, investment accords. There is no investment accords between Peru and Israel. If you got something like that, you're going to create differences in competitiveness in Peru relative to other countries. The other thing that you can do is that now in Latin America has been created a platform really important for the US, which is the Pacific Alliance. The Pacific Alliance is a platform composed by Mexico, Colombia, Peru, and Chile, to be a counterpart of what's going on to other countries who are aligned more to a non-US interest: Venezuela, Bolivia, Nicaragua, Ecuador. The Pacific Alliance is a platform that it's very aligned to US interests. But one of the accords of the alliance is to create an office around the world who promotes innovation and technology for all this platform to develop over time. And they have decided that the office needs to be placed in Israel. And you know who is going to be the president who is going to implement that? Me. So that's a huge opportunity. The other opportunity in economics in Peru is that if we project in the future the conflicts that are going to be in the Middle East, what I see is future boycotts toward Israel. One thing has happened in Europe, with I think it's one telecom company that started some kind of boycotts against Israel. So Latin America could be a new market, just to diversify, because this is going to happen in the future. So if this is going to happen in the future, I need to assure new markets if something is happening. And Latin America is a huge and growing market for Israel. If you go to Peru and you ask everybody in the streets, not uneducated people, in the streets, to what concepts do you relate Israel? They will tell you three things. Military, really strong military. Secondly, innovation and technology. And third, education, universities. Everybody knows that. So we have the advantage of having assets that are in the minds of Peruvians that Israel is a good thing. And I don't have anything against them. So we need to take advantage of that. This is a base to build things. And if we do these policies, free trade agreements, investment agreements, programs linked Peruvian and Israeli university for student exchange, what is going to happen in the next 10 years, Mark, is that it's going to be really difficult for a president, even if the next president after me, that said something or do something against. And the other countries are going to follow because they don't want to lose, space for competitiveness. Those are the kind of things really concrete that you need to do in the first day. One of the things that I learned about the FTA is that Peru started negotiating a free trade agreement with Israel in 2013.
They did?
They did. But the negotiation stopped.
Because?
Because one congressman, one out of the 130, was against. And why?
There was an American congressman?
No.
A Peruvian congressman? A Peruvian member of... It's not called Congress. It's called Parliament?
It's called Congress.
It is called Congress?
Yes.
There was a member of the Peruvian Congress who was opposed to a free trade agreement with Israel.
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Because he had a personal agenda there. But
and one Peruvian congressman could block it?
Yes. Why? Why? And that's why I'm saying this is a huge opportunity. Why? Because nobody cares. And because nobody cares, just one can stop that. But if the president of Peru cares, it's easy to go to the other way. So that's why I'm saying we are losing a huge opportunity.